Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about our championship data Alteryx assignment that we have, and you can see I have imported it into my Alteryx using the input tool, and we can see that we have two columns, year and champions. Year we have from 1995 to 2019. Then we have champions, in which we have a long list of data. Like if we expand it, it is going across. Okay, so I can see that there is some trend, like there is a game named soccer, then football, then hockey, and such. And we have the St. James Prep, then we have East Gilmore HS, then we have Washington HS. So we know that we have high schools in it, because in our the another file, that the PNG file that sir gave, let me open it once. CTC. Yeah, so sir gave this file, so this should be our output. So you can see that HS is converted into high school, that means the HS was the high school. And there was another thing that I noticed, the PNG automatically close off after some seconds, which is something new. So I am just doing nothing, and just you see it is gone. So we can just have a glimpse of it, I guess. It is some code, something might have changed in that PNG, because of which it is doing as such. Okay, so these two are the data. So I can see that I can choose the delimiter as the comma, and it will segregate all these uh, sports with the high school. So I use the text to column tools with that. I use the delimiter as the comma, and I have counted the number of sports that we were having and the number of high school that we were having. So we had basically 12. So I counted them, then I wrote it here 12, and now everything is separated into columns, text to columns, using text to columns. Okay. Now I can see, like in our champions one, we have some high school, these many high school that we are having, soccer and soccer. In football also, these many high schools are there, and champions also high school are there, basketball also high school are there. And we look about our PNG file again. So we can see that we have to count our number of, yeah, it is gone again. So we have to count the number of times the school is occurring. So you can see in our table, going back, that soccer here is Central High School, here is also Central High School, Washington High School is also getting repeated. So we have to count it distinctly. Okay, before that, we have to separate the sport, which is soccer here, and football here, and field hockey here. And we have to use the delimiter as semicolon, not semicolon, colon. So colon is used as the delimiter, and we have to split each column one by one. First I did for soccer, then I did for football, then I did for field hockey. Similarly, I did for everyone. We had all the 12. Then I have used the union tool. I have united them with position. Okay, after uniting them with position, we can see that, not here, here output. So we have soccer first, then baseball, hockey, lacrosse, volleyball, bowling. Then soccer, what it did, In soccer one, it gave all our this soccer, football, field hockey, basketball, wrestling, and it basically segregated it into two columns only. Okay, and then united them below everyone. So this is not. So we are still having our data. So we know that for soccer, this is occurring. This number type football is this, and similarly we can find out for each sport which high school was there. Okay. So I used the cross tab tool. What I did is exactly I'm showing. I selected everything, and soccer 1 and soccer 2 I left, and soccer 1 and soccer 2 I kept it here and used the concatenate. So what it did, it converted all my rows into the columns, and after converting it into the columns, it gives the header like baseball 2, basketball 2, bowling 2. So every sport, then 2. Okay. So now I have the data which I needed for every baseball. These many are there. Now I just have to count them. Before that, I removed all the initial files which are not splitted and kept only this file which are splitted after using the delimiter as colon. Okay. Then I have used the select tool. Okay, so this is my output of the select tool. You can see. So now I just have to count them one by one. So I use the summation tool, and for each I have to group by it, then count it. So group by our values or high school here, and count distinct. No, not count distinct, only count. Okay. So that is how we got this. And similarly we did for basketball, bowling, field hockey and everything. This is a basketball I did here, bowling I did here. Similarly I did it for everyone. Then I have to then I have used a select tool because I want to unite them again, but this time I want to group it by as well. So what I want, I can use the multiple join here. So after grouping it by my count of that, what I did, I changed that this is school and this is baseball, the count of baseball which we want in the output. So that is how we did that. And similarly for everyone, I have changed the name. It was the basketball 2, then count. Then after changing it, I made it school and basketball, such that after doing all this, I can uh, group it by or join it by the school. So it joined it by school, and I have removed all the excess input that were created. Let me show you. So these were all also created, which I removed one by one. Okay, and these are what we wanted. So I kept only what we want. So these were the input of the school which we don't want, which was meaning the school this was repeating again and again, and again, which we don't want. Okay, after going to this output, we can see that we are getting some null values. Now we want to replace those null values with zeros, which we can do with our data cleansing tool. So it will replace the blanks, string fields, replace with zero numeric values. Replace with blank string fields and replace with zero numeric value, and leading and trailing white spaces I have removed. Okay, so this is our output which we have. Now after doing that, I use the formula tool and I converted the HS to high school by replacing it high school HS with high school. So it became Central High School, Chapman High School, and so on. Another thing, I just relocate them using the up and down arrow, just as the we had in the our output file. So football, basketball, wrestling, soccer. So in this order only, what I did is in the same order I have kept it, and then I have oriented them. So that is all for this assignment. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone. So our previous workflow was a bit cluttered or bit haphazard. So I tried to make it look bit easier. So now we have got this same output. Let me explain you how I got this one. So similarly, I have imported the champions. Then I use, instead of doing split to columns, I did split to rows. So every data is got split into rows. Then after that, I use the delimiter to split it into two columns, uh, with the wrestling and Tory, the wrestling being the sport, and the school, the second one being the school. Okay, yeah. So uh, untick this one. Okay. Now I selected the champions one and champions two. I renamed it into the sport and the school. After that, I used my what do we call this? No, summarize function. Yeah. So summarize tool. We first group it by school, then group it by sport. Then after we did the count of sport. So now this way we got the count of sport. After that, we converted it into the columns. We choose our school as to group by headers as sport, then values as count, and the method as first. So we got all these values with the null values. We use the data cleansing tool to remove the trailing and leading spaces and converting these values, null values, to zeros, which we did here. Then finally we use our replace function in our formula tool to replace the value of our HS to school. Now you can see too much. Yeah, now it looks a little bit better. Okay, so this is an easier way, and so thank you for watching.